Look, owning a nursery, a lot of times just mean hard freaking work. And so we're tapping in to some existing lines, but what I want to do is make sure there's enough pressure for complete coverage so we can automate it. One of my sayings this year is if it's not scalable, it's not automated, it's broken. So we want to automate 90% of the watering. With that said, 2 to 3 days a week this year, we'll strategically be drying stuff out. So look, it's 100 degrees. The one thing that absolutely has to happen every day is plants need enough water, but you also want to walk that line between getting them just dry enough, because that forces the roots to expand all the way to the bottom, and it creates a healthier plant. You're making it stronger. If it's constantly saturated, if it's constantly soaked, a lot of issues can come from that. So right here, this existing line, I don't know how deep the pipe is under there, so I'm going to be digging down, because each line here, if you can see, you got this line here of irrigation. Right now you got one valve for 2 lines. I'm going to be making it so that 1 valve, 1 line. So you're going to watch me dig a hole with a pickaxe. Hell, I don't know. Maybe there's some value there. So get through the initial layer of weed barrier. And since this line isn't hot right now, if I accidentally crack a pipe, I've got all the materials I need to fix it. But once I know how deep it is and where that main line that connects this pipe to that pipe, be a piece of cake. But the initial work that comes from it, there it is. Just gotta get your hands dirty. And what this will do, as much as I like watering, each day we'll make sure this bad boy gets water. Oh boy. Now what do you do when you dig down on some irrigation? It's been there for years, and there's so many pipes, don't even know. Wow. Oh, this will be fun. Check it out. We got 3 individual pipes, but this one is running all the way over to the line that feeds over here. So I got to dig out around it, because I'm going to tap into it. So we got our water main over here. All right, a little dirty, a little muddy. I don't care. This is actually what I enjoy the most sometimes, is just digging in the dirt. It's when I do my best thinking. Fortunately, the ground is still soft from some rain we've had. So what I got to do is dig a hole big enough so I can dig around all 3 of those lines and then figure out what each one of them's for. Once I tap in here, I'll do a function check. I'll make sure this line is hooked up to the water main. Once we get that done, it doesn't necessarily matter what all these other pipes are for. It only matters that I understand where the origin of the water main, which I found, and then I'm dialing in the valves that I need to water this line, and then cutting off and sealing off all the others. All right, take another look in here. I'm gonna hop down. Just found the T. Here's the water main that feeds. Then comes over here to a T. The line that runs this way is gonna be on the one valve with this post. This extra line runs over to here along the greenhouse. Now that's gonna be our shade row, where our shade loving plants like hostas, rhododendrons and ferns, they're gonna go there. To ensure we have adequate coverage across this 15-foot workway, I'm gonna cut about 2 inches here and run another pipe this way so that each one has its own valve. And then ultimately what will happen, this will be a piece of cake. Now that I located it, we're gonna come in down here and I've capped it off. But what you got is the water main. 2 inches of pressure. I'm gonna move this up, come over here, and tap into these pipes over to here, and then ultimately these sprinklers will at least be getting pressure. All right,